Hey everyone, Andreas here with Dominic Debay Collection, and I have Sarah with me from Private Travel Iceland. Thank you so much for taking your time for joining us today. We want to speak a little bit more about the outlook for 2022. And yeah, I'm just handing over to Sarah, and let's see.
Thank you, Andreas. Let me just get my presentation up. So yeah, as Andreas said, we're going to be looking forward as we come to the end of 2021. I can't believe that it's December next month. It's been such a crazy year, obviously finishing on a better note than we started on, which is great. So I'm just going to be talking about sort of looking forward, planning for next year, a few new things and what we can sort of look forward to. So to start, I'm just going to do sort of an overview on Iceland. Here's our sort of main map that we use. It just shows the sort of logistics, the main towns, and what we're going to be looking at today. So this is a beautiful image of the Diamond Beach, which is in the southeast of Iceland, just off the Glacier Lagoon, next to Jökulsárlón. And this is where the Glacier Lagoon, the icebergs sort of go out to sea and then they crash back on the black sand beach, and just the way they glisten with the light, we call them sort of the Diamond Beach. So this is a really stunning, beautiful place to visit. As you can see, I've just sort of circled it or squared it there where it is. This, along with my backdrop, is my absolute favorite place in Iceland. This is called Langmundla, which is the highlands of Iceland. And this has such a short window of when we can visit it, usually around sort of June to early September, and the exact sort of dates depending on when the road opens because of the access. And it looks like a painting, but I promise you it really does look like that. It's a really stunning location. And we use the super jeeps to get to this area, so I'll show you a picture of those later on. As you can see, that's sort of right in the middle of the country there. This is Thorsmork, another day that we use with the super jeeps. This was an area that was created, as you can see the glacier in the background. Under there is the volcano, that eruption that happened sort of around 10 years ago now. And when it erupted, all the glacier melt and went out to the sea and created this sort of valley. So Thorsmork actually means Valley of the Thor. And so there's beautiful glacier rivers, hidden waterfalls, great hiking. And the good thing about Thorsmork is we can access it all year round. So this is a picture of it here in the summer, but in the winter it's all sort of covered in snow and ice, and it's just as beautiful. So that's sort of just below the highlands and above, sorry about that, just above the sort of South Shore area. This is Skogafoss waterfall, which is located on the south coast. So when we do our South Shore excursion day, you'll be seeing this, and that's just pointed there on the South Shore. And this is Gullfoss waterfall, which is located in the Golden Circle Day. Now, Iceland has over 10,000 waterfalls, so you're never not going to see a waterfall on your journey, no matter what sort of days and excursions that you do. And the Golden Circle's there, which is the most sort of famous and popular day in Iceland. This is another one, Selangjafoss. So this is a waterfall that you can access by walking all the way behind it. So be sure to put your waterproofs on because you do get wet on that one. And that's located again on the South Shore Day. And so we're heading sort of west now. This is Snæfellsnes. So this is the first sort of Western Peninsula. This is a beautiful place. We usually sort of send people to Snæfellsnes if they've got a bit more time to spend in Iceland, or maybe for returning guests once they've done all those sort of main sites. And it's a really amazing place to see the Northern Lights in the winter months. And that's there, as you can see, on the first sort of Western Peninsula. Now, Northern Lights are in full force at the moment. They usually start around September time and go all the way through till about sort of March, April. Obviously, you know, the more darkness that we have, the better they are. The last couple of weeks have been absolutely amazing, really sort of quite similar to this image here. And what we do in the winter months is we do include at least one Northern Light hunt with your guide. So they'll be checking the forecast and the locations of the Northern Lights and taking people out to see them. And they usually, you know, the guide will speak to them and say, we think it's going to be coming out at this time. And then they agree all that beforehand. And then a lot of the hotels as well outside of the city do a wake up call as well. So if the night shift manager or person is working and the Northern Lights come out and you want to be called in the middle of the night, then they're happy to do so, so you can witness them as well. Just this is an image of an eruption that started this March in the Reykjanes Peninsula. It's actually just sort of finishing now. So it was great during the summer. We had some amazing hikes to it with clients, because you could get quite close to sort of the melting lava. That's me when I did a hike there. That was actually about 2 o'clock in the morning. We did it in the middle of the night during the summer, where we've got sort of 24 hours of daylight. And it really was just a magnificent thing to witness, to see an erupting volcano. So in terms of sort of transportation, what we offer, we've just changed all of our cars. We were on sort of suburban ones now, but we're just now getting all the Mercedes V-Class to do our sort of regular tours. And that would fit up to 6 people, depending on the sort of size and the makeup of the family and things. And then for smaller groups, we're using the Mercedes in the top class, which is like a sort of SUV. So that would do sort of 2 or 3 people. And then obviously for larger families, over sort of 6 people, then we'd be looking at sprinters. So that's for our regular touring and transfers and things. Then for our sort of off-road super Jeep ones, this is an example. So the top right picture of the Toyota, a regular super Jeep is a modified 4-wheel drive car. So something like a Toyota or a Land Rover Defender or something, and they modify them in Iceland up to 42 inches on tires, so they can access these sort of off-terrain roads. So we swap the vehicles halfway through when we're doing Thorsmork and Laminler, or some other days during the winter months. And then we've also got them in the sprinters as well. And then, like Andreas's picture, helicopters are a great way to see Iceland. There's certain areas in Iceland that can only be accessed by helicopters. And we can take them on excursions, anything from sort of privately from an hour up to a full day. And they can land on glaciers. We can land them in the highlands. And people, you know, can set up special occasions. We've had a few sort of proposals where people have been with the guide, they've landed in the highlands, the helicopter and the guide have flown off to give them some sort of privacy, and then arranged like a special picnic or something to be set up. So that's another way to sort of experience Iceland. And also in Reykjavik, we've got access to the Harper yacht. So if people are wanting to do fishing or whale watching, or even just sort of have dinner in the harbour on a boat, then we can hire this out privately and arrange some really special moments on there. Now, with every sort of excursion day, like the Golden Circle, Snæfellsnes, or the South Shore or things, we can add on an extra activity a day. So ice walking, ice climbing, going inside a glacier, snowmobiling. In the summer months, we can take you up to the north to do heli skiing. And then in the summer months, we can do sort of water activities like kayaking and whitewater rafting. Not many people know, but Iceland's actually quite famous for snorkeling and diving. So this is done inland, not sort of from the ocean. It's done between the 2 tectonic plates where Europe meets America, and the area is called Silfra, which is in the Golden Circle. And it's meant to be one of sort of the clearest waters on the planet. So if you're a dry suit diver, or your clients are, it's a really great experience. And that can be done all year round. And then also the whale watching can be done all year round. Motorized activities, we've got these buggy rides, which we can do on the Black Sand Beach, and the ATVs, again, all year round. And biking, which is mainly sort of a summer activity, even though we have got the fat bikes during the winter. And then we've got the Icelandic horse, which is a really sort of ancient, famous horse. A bit bigger than the Shetland pony, definitely smaller than the horses that we're sort of familiar with. And the Icelandic horse has an extra gait, which makes it extra special when it's doing its trot. So people of all levels and experiences can take an Icelandic horse, and you can do anything from sort of a 1-hour excursion up to, we can arrange sort of a couple of days for you. Iceland's very famous for sort of cave and lava tunnels and ice caves and things, so we can arrange things like that. And then a truly unique experience in Iceland, which is again only open in the summer months, usually around May through to October, is descending into a dormant volcano. So this was a volcano that erupted many, many years ago, but when the eruption happened, it didn't collapse in within itself, it stayed upright. And then it was discovered about sort of 15 years ago. And then they decided to make this excursion. So you're sort of lowered through on a open cable cart, like you would clean the windows on a skyscraper. You descend down, there's about 6 of you in, and then you can get out, and then you can sort of free roam within the ropes to see the colors of the volcano after an eruption's happened. Summer outdoor activities. So when you do the whale watching in Iceland in the summer, you can also do puffin watching, or you can go over to the Westman Islands to do puffin watching as well. We've got amazing rivers for fishing, salmon fishing, trout fishing. These do book up very far in advance. So anyone that's interested in fishing, it's good to get in as soon as possible. A lot of people also don't realize that Iceland's got some amazing golf courses. Again, this is just a summer sort of sport, but during the longer days in sort of June, July, where we've got 24 hours of daylight, you can do tea times at midnight. So that's quite interesting as well. And then we've got zip lining, which we can do on the south coast. Another activity, which is one of the most famous in Iceland, is the Blue Lagoon, so the geothermal pools. So the Blue Lagoon is the most famous, which is in the Reykjanes Peninsula, so about 15 minutes from the airport. So we usually include this at the end of the itinerary, because people have been outdoors doing a really busy, active experience. So it's nice then just at the end to have a night or just a day trip into the Blue Lagoon just to rest and relax. There are other, it's another one of the Blue Lagoon. There are other lagoons. We've got the Secret Lagoon, which is in the Golden Circle. We've got some canyon baths, which are located in the sort of Husafell area. We've got beer baths up in the north. And then we've got this Sky Lagoon, which opened in Reykjavik as well. So another sort of geothermal option for people wanting just a sort of bit of rest and relaxation. I'm just going to talk about a few of our favorite and featured hotels. So the Blue Lagoon Retreat is, I think, everyone in the office and everyone who comes to Iceland's favorite hotel. It's the only 5-star option in Iceland, which is another reason we like to include it at the end. So clients' expectations, if they stay here at the beginning, I think they must think that all hotels in Iceland are like this, but they're not. So it's nice to have it at the beginning as a nice sort of treat at the end of the stay. So that's located there just by this sort of airport. Depla Farm up in the north. This is an 11 experience property. It's a small boutique hotel, so you can take it out privately, which they tend to do sort of around the Christmas year. And this is great, as I mentioned earlier, for the heli skiing. We base people here. It's also sort of an all-inclusive property, so all your the majority of your activities are included, food, drink, and everything. And it's just in a stunning setting. So that's up there in the north of Iceland. We've got the Foss Hotel Glacier Lagoon, which is at the Glacier Lagoon where that first picture was from the Diamond Beach. It's a sort of contemporary 3-star hotel, but it's a good base to be if you're wanting to spend a bit more time in that area to avoid sort of long drives, because from Reykjavik to the Glacier Lagoon, you're looking sort of 5-6 hour drive. And that's located in that area there. Hotel Ranga, one of the most famous hotels on the south coast. This is a great option as well. And in the night, in the winter months, they do stargazing. They've got their own observatory. So it's located on the south coast. Skallakot, another option that we use a lot in the South Shore. And this is based on a working farm. So the owner is the farmer and he gets on with his farming work day to day. So if people want to get involved, he's quite happy to do that. We do a lot of our horseback riding from Skallakot as well. And that's located on the south coast between the two sort of major waterfalls. Now this has been the biggest wait in Iceland, I think, for any property. The addition opened last month, at the end of last month. They didn't tell anyone they were open. They just opened, and we've been waiting, I think, about 6 to 8 years for this hotel to open. They're still on a soft opening at the moment. They're due to have their sort of main launch any day now, but there's still a bit of construction work going on, and they're still sort of finalizing a lot of the stuff and things. But it's great to see that the addition is finally open in Reykjavik. We've had a couple of meetings with them. They're still waiting for their the designer to go in and approve everything before the official photos are taken as well. So as soon as we have those, we'll do a big feature on it on the next presentation, but we're just excited that the doors are opening. We think for us at Private Travel Iceland, we're going to hold off. We have had one set of clients there, but they booked it directly. But we will hold off selling it while it's in this sort of soft opening period until they're sort of settled and all their staff are in and they know exactly what they're doing and the construction sort of stopped. But also in Reykjavik, other options to consider are the Consulate, which is one of my favorite properties. We've got the Sand Hotel, which is a nice sort of boutique property, which I love. Canopy, which is a more sort of trendy, younger option with a really good buzz and vibe and bar in there. And then out of the city, sort of heading towards the Western Peninsula, we've got Hotel Húsavík, which is a good base for people wanting to do some sort of hiking and some more sort of off the beaten track areas of Iceland. So that's located just there. Now, Torfhús Retreat is a property that opened just before COVID struck, and it's an amazing property of 1 and 2 bedroom options that are based on the old Icelandic turf houses. The 2 bedroom options have 2 bedrooms, a bathroom, and that bottom left picture is a picture of the sort of living area, and it has a small kitchenette. They also have a private hot pool for each of the 2 bedroom options. And then the 1 bedroom options comes in blocks of 3, and they have a hot pool between each of the 3 rooms. And that is located on the Golden Circle route, so a really good location. The Panorama Glass Lodge, another one located in the Golden Circle option. And this is great for people wanting to view the Northern Lights as it's all glass, or just wanting something a little bit sort of out there and a bit different. They don't have staff or breakfast, so it's basically just sort of an accommodation. So it's nice for a night to offer something a little bit different. And then this is an image of where Six Senses are planning to open in the east of Iceland. Everything's obviously with COVID been a little bit delayed, so we're still waiting to hear on the new dates on that, but that's a really exciting prospect for Iceland. And then the last bit I'm going to talk about is just some sort of special moments that we do at Private Travel Iceland, some of the things that we've done, and just to give you some ideas of people's creative juices of what can be done. Iceland's great because it's such a small country and a small population. We're only sort of 350,000 people. So there's never usually a no and when people ask for something a little bit different, because we can find somebody that knows somebody that can operate it. So we had one family sitting there in the audience that hired out the Harpa concert hall in Reykjavik. And we got the Icelandic Philharmonic Orchestra to perform for them. So that's that happening there. We can do some amazing sort of private dinner and lunch setups in tents. This is a Game of Thrones bachelor party that we held for a group of guys. So after they all got dressed up, they then had to do a scavenger hunt to find their way to this lodge where they had dinner prepared to them by a private chef, and then they had a party and a DJ and things. So that was a really fun one to do. We can arrange sort of private picnics as simple as the one just sort of set up there, or we can do special dinners with a chef in caves and things. Viking experiences, private camps on land or on the glacier, that sort of idea what the tents look like inside. And then we can hire out sort of glaciers and like inside glaciers for drinks events, or we've done inside the volcano for a drinks thing or a proposal or something. So that's just sort of everything in a nutshell. We're looking forward to 2022. We're already, looking quite busy for summer. Some of the hotels are filling up. So I would advise, if you do have clients considering it, it's best to get in as soon as possible to get exactly what they want, instead of leaving it quite last minute and us sort of piecing something together.
Perfect. Thank you, Sarah. I actually have a question, or Lisa has a question.
Yep.
To properly explore Iceland via land, how many days would you suggest?
We would suggest during the winter months, anything from sort of 5 to 7 days, because the days are sort of shorter. And people come in the winter more for the winter wonderland and the Northern Lights. But in the summer, you know, ideally anything from 5 to 10 days, you know, we can fill all of those days and they can see some really amazing things. If they're wanting to see the whole of Iceland, go around the ring road, then we would say 2 weeks is best to do that without rushing it.
All right. 2 weeks sounds good to me.
Yes.
After I have seen what I just saw in your presentation. Perfect. I think we don't have any more question other than that. Oh, wait a second. Somebody just, yes. Yes, I will send out a recording to everyone. And also in our follow-up, you will have the contact information of Sarah. You can also make an appointment on Let's Connect 365 with Sarah, where you then can have like a 15 minutes one-on-one and you know, talk a little bit more into details about your client.
I'm always happy as well. Sorry, Andreas.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people, especially this year, there's been a lot of new agents and things selling Iceland that haven't previously done it before, or a lot of people moving from sort of corporate to leisure travel. So I'm always happy to jump on a Zoom or a call with yourselves and the client as well. Sometimes it sort of makes it a bit easier and to sort of speed things along instead of lots of emails, if they want to jump on a call and run through an itinerary or have some questions, and I'm always happy to do that as well.
That's actually a great idea, to bring the clients with on the call and do it quick, fast and efficient for everyone.
Yeah, you find as well that when they jump on the call with the DMC, they're less likely to say no. So we find the sale comes a lot quicker when the DMC jump in on the call for some reason.
All right, we like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. Well, Sarah, thank you so much for taking the time. Everyone else, also, thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, hope to see all of you in Iceland.
Yes, definitely.
Rather sooner than later. No?
Thank you so much for everybody. And I'll send out, like Andrea said, the recording, and obviously any questions, please just let me know and I'm happy to help.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Have a good day, everybody.
You too. Bye-bye.